Hi, my name is Ochieng Steven, a sports journalist, and welcome to Bonga Ball. So today we are going to be doing a review of the 2021-2022 Kenyan Premier League. Before we do a preview of what's coming up in the 2022-2023 season. So if you're new to Kenyan football, buckle up because it's about to be one long ride. So the 2021-2022 season, how was it? First off, it started with Football Kenya Federation President Nick Mwendwa getting kicked out of office by Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohamed due to reasons that we particularly may not know till now, because the former FKF president is still embattled and still battles court cases. And then after that, things went on without Nick Mwendwa in office, and then it came to a point where FIFA suspended Kenya from international football. And that meant that Kenya could no longer participate in international competitions. Harambee Stars could not play their AFCON matches. They could not honor friendlies with other international countries just because of the suspension. But you know what? Reggae must go on. So football went on. And we kept on playing. And it was one hell of a season because we were playing under FIFA sanction. We did not have a Football Kenya Federation president in office. And that meant that things were just everywhere. There was no clear guidelines. There was nothing. Teams were struggling to honor matches. Teams were debating about whether to play or not to play. Of course, due to the uncertainty that was there, just as a normal person would, who wouldn't be uncertain of the conditions. But still, Kenyans being the resilient Kenyans they are, we managed to get over the line. And the season went on despite a couple of walkovers and all those kind of things. Some matches were not honored. Some teams just failed to honor matches because in one or another they might have been pro the government or against the government, so it was just their legal way of paying back. Eventually, we had champions, Tusker, who managed to win the title against Kakamega Homeboyz in some very dramatic fashion. Because when you follow the Kenyan football, you'd realize that Tusker had a really poor start to the season. At some point, they were even trailing 15 points. They were even 15 points behind Kakamega Homeboyz, who at some point topped the table. But it was understandable for Tusker because they had the CAF Champions League qualifiers to deal with in the early stages of the season, and so that meant traveling in and out of the country, and they also had league matches to honor. So considering the fact that they also had a relatively new squad with up to 10 new players, so gelling and all those continental assignments had some toll on them. So they trailed, and it was one of the miraculous stories of the season because trailing up to 15 points within the season, that means you're not expected to be a champion. But being the defending champions in that year, they managed to claw their way back under Robert Matano. And they managed to dramatically defend their title, which was the 13th title, which meaning that took them to becoming the second best club in the country. Behind, of course, Gor Mahia, who have 19 titles. So Gor Mahia have 19 titles, then Tusker 13, then AFC Leopards are the third most decorated club in the country with 12 titles to their name. So for a long part of the time, Kakamega Homeboyz always felt that this was their real chance of clinching their maiden title in the Premier League. But it was never to be. And that ended up with their head coach Mwalala being sacked and such things and Tusker managing to defend their title. It was also a season where we saw Mathare United, arguably one of the oldest clubs in the country, get relegated from the top flight season. It was marked with financial problems. They were not honoring their matches. They kept on dishing out walkovers. So it was an end that people did not see coming. But Mathare, as things stand at the moment, they're relegated from the top flight Premier League. They were joined by Vihiga Bullets, who also did not survive the top flight after their first season, after playing their first season in the 2021-2022 season. On the flip side, we've already seen two teams gain promotion to the top flight Premier League, and for the first time ever in the history of the Kenyan football, we're going to have a side from Kirinyaga because Fortune Sacco finished second in the second National Super League, which is an automatic promotion to the top flight, and they were joined by champions APS Bomet, who will also grace the Football Kenya Federation Premier League for the first time ever in their history. So the 2022-2023 Premier League season is scheduled to kick off on 27th of August 2022. And amidst all the uncertainty, still there is hope that things will progress and things will get back to normalcy once again. But it's still the hope that kills, especially considering we are all fans of this game, So, yeah. We're just about to talk about players to watch out for in the next season. And top on my list is Derek Otanga. He was the top scorer in the 2021-2022 season. Sorry, and he's playing for KCB. He played for KCB last season, but rumors have it that he might be ditching KCB because the transfer has not yet been made official. But coastal sources indicate that he might be headed to Bandari FC. So just hold on that and keep it bonga ball to find out where he'll be playing next season. Another player we might look out for is Felix Oluoch, who has certainly made the move to Bandari FC, who have made a number of impressive signings so far because they've signed Felix Oluoch. He was, I think, the second best top scorer, and then they signed James Kinyanjui from Wazito also, which makes them a formidable side, come to think of it on paper, because they have, I think, some of the best players currently in the Premier League. And of course, there's always that factor that Tusker will want to defend their title. So you can't always rule out the reigning champions who are there. But we're talking about players to watch out for. So I think Felix Oluoch is a player to look out for because he's joining a Bandari side that is very ambitious, or rather trying to be very ambitious in the transfer market, considering they finished fourth in the adjustment period season. So they are challenging for the title under the stewardship of Anthony Kimani. So we're about to wait on that. And teams to watch out for, of course, one team that has to be there, Gor Mahia. They've gotten a new sponsor. They've gotten a new coach in Jonathan McKinstry from Northern Ireland. He used to be the former Uganda national team head coach. He also had stints with Rwanda. So he has come in at Gor Mahia, and there's optimism. There's some light at the end of that dark tunnel, because for the first time since 2013, Gor Mahia have gone for 2 seasons without a title, and that is not something normal to Gor Mahia, because since 2013 they've won 6 out of 9 available titles, with Tusker getting the 2, and then in that one season there was no title because it was the season traveled by coronavirus pandemic. So you can't always rule out Gor Mahia, considering they are trying to look at a team that has their house in order, because they got a 70 million per year sponsorship from gaming firm Betafrique. And then there's also Tusker, one of the defending champions. Never ever rule out defending champions, first of all. So we have Gor Mahia, we have Tusker. I don't know about FC Leopards. They have a new sponsor. Betika has come on board, giving them around 60 million per year. But FC Leopards still, I think the squad is largely inexperienced to compete for the title. So I kind of top 5 maybe, but not to compete for the title just yet. Number 3 for me would be Bandari, because when you look at the signings they have made, I think they're going to be right up there. Number 4, I'd probably tip, let me say, a KCB, because they are led under Zedekiah Zico Otieno, who knows how to do it, but has just been unfortunate in the last 2 seasons. In the 2020-2021 season, he finished second behind Tusker. In the 2021-2022 season, he got blown off. I think he finished, number 6 or 7. I'm not so sure about that. But he has shown that he has the pedigree to get there. Just getting over the line is what is becoming the difficult thing. So will he do it on a 3rd year of asking? Let's wait and see. But yeah, so I'll tip Tusker, then Gor Mahia, then Bandari FC, then KCB, and then probably wrap it up with AFC. So that brings us to an end on Bonga Boli session on Kenyan Premier League. So be sure to comment which is your favorite team, which team you're watching out for, who's the name you're most likely going to watch when the Premier League starts on August 27, and what's your prediction? Who do you think will win the league title? Tell us in Bonga Boli in the comment. See you then.